My turn. For each of these questions, we're looking to round to the nearest 10. By nearest 10, we mean a number that exists in our 10 times table. For a lot of these, it might be easier for you to draw yourself a small number line for each of them, as it can help you physically see where these numbers are sitting. For example, for 22, if I have 20 and the next 10 up would be 30. 25 sits directly in the middle, but remember our neighbour's rule. If our neighbour is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, our 10 is going to stay the same and we're just going to get rid of anything else. If our neighbour is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we're going to jump to the next 10. So be careful with 25. Although it does sit directly in the middle, it does mean that we push it up to the next 10. So not to worry, we've got 22. So which side of that line is 22 sitting? Well, we know 22 is less than 25. 22 would probably sit around here. 22 you can see is closer to 20, but that also follows our rule that if our neighbour is 2, then we're going to go with what we already have. So my answer should be not just 2, remember, but 20, because we're looking for the nearest 10. So your answer should be in the 10 times table. For the next one, I won't draw the number line for every question, but if you do want to have a go at drawing those as you watch this video, and for the next questions, you can. So for the next one, I've got 48. Slightly different for 48. We've got 40 on this side. 50 is the next one up. And remember, 45 is going to sit in the middle. 48 is going to sit closer. We know that is bigger than 45, so it's going to sit closer to 50. Again, this follows my rule that if my neighbour is 8, we're going to go to the next 10 up. So then my answer is going to be 50. Again, remembering that number should be in the 10 times table. And the last one, slightly more difficult because we've actually got a 3-digit number. However, our tens column is what we are interested in. So for this one, we could do it slightly differently. We could draw our line and go, right, here's my 10. So after that is going to be my neighbour. So my neighbour here is 7. Remember what we said? If our neighbour is 7, we're going to round up. So that would push our 6 up 1 to 7. But remember that is sitting in our tens column. So we're going to end up with 370. Because we've pushed the 6 up to a 7, but the 6 is sitting in that tens column, which is actually making it 60. So pushing it up would make it 70. And again, this is in our 10 times table because it ends in a 0. Pause the video here and have a go at the your turn question. Your turn. So for each of these, we're once again going to round to the nearest 10. I'm going to use the slightly shorter method. If you do want to go drawing that number line, you can. However, I'm going to show you the shorter method for these. So 8 is my 10. It's in my tens column. Its neighbour is 3. 3 we know from our rule is going to keep us the same. So my answer is just 80. For the next one, I've got 56. 5 is in my tens column. Its neighbour is 6. 6 we know is going to push us up. The next number up from 5 is 6. But remember that's in my tens column, so our answer should be 60. And the last one. Trickier when we have 3 digits, but that's okay. We know where our tens are sitting. So our tens, this is our hundreds, this is our tens, and this is our unit. So my tens is here. So my neighbour is 5. We think back to our rule. If the neighbour is 5, we're going to go up. So once our neighbour is 5, we are going to push 4 up 1 more to 5. But again, remember that's actually sitting in our tens column. So that's going to be 8, 5. But remember, it's actually 40 that's been pushed up another 10 to 50. Use these examples to have a go at the next set of questions.